Yeah, we're good. We're live.
Very nice. This one, the new one.
Yeah, the new one.
No, this is this one which is streamed for 4 minutes.
Just refresh it.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. And now, are you able to see chat?
I will just check. Are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the
Yes,
chat.
I will see the chat. Hi everyone. We're finally here. There was a little bit of something we needed to work out, but now we're good. You are able to. Hi, so many highs. So I have my setup here. So if you look here, weird language. I'm just trying to read your comments. Okay, awesome. So can you all hear me properly? Can all of you hear me properly? If so, say yes.
Hmm.
Okay, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, awesome. So let me introduce myself. Hi, everyone. My name is Chef Smriti Iyer. My name is not chef. My name is Smriti Iyer. I'm a pastry chef based in Delhi. And we are here today at the Arch Studio, which is the official pastry studio of Smriti's Special. Now, today, in association with Jindal Coco and homemakers.co.in, we are here to do our first session for the Chocolicious Masterclass. And for this session, we are going to do a beautiful, delicious, easy recipe which you can use for just yourself or any dessert boxes or any orders that you want to do. Okay, so it's perfect for small batches as well as big batch production. Okay, so today we are going to make a molded, chewy, gooey chocolate cookie. Okay, it's easy, it's simple. You guys can ask your questions. I'm going to take the questions in intervals so that we're able to manage both of the things. Okay, so the first thing we are going to do is to make the dough. Okay, this is an egg-free dough. All right. And as we make the dough, I will take you along with what we are doing and why we are doing so. Okay. So the first thing we have here is some all-purpose flour. Can the camera guy come to me so that they can see everything? Awesome. So give us a second, you guys. We will. Is it good to go? Mhm. Okay. So we have our all-purpose flour here. To this, we're going to add our cold chopped butter. Make sure that the butter you use here is cold so that you get that nice crumbly texture to your dough. Okay, and then I'm using a pastry cutter here. Okay, you can use a fork, a simple fork would do. Okay, so by doing this, what we're doing is we are coating the flour with fat. What happens when you coat flour with fat? It goes into the oven and it crisps up. So whenever you want anything to be crispy, you want to coat it into fat first. Okay? Are you all able to see properly?
Yeah, they're asking for measurements.
And that's in the description box below. And it will also be shared at the end of the live. So that you guys stick around and don't run away. That's the real reason. Okay. And as I always say to all of my students in all of my years of teaching, don't worry about the recipe. Okay, recipe doesn't matter when you're learning. What matters is the procedure and you understand why we're doing what we're doing. Okay, it doesn't matter what the recipe is. You're going to get the recipe anyway. You're here to learn the procedure, so make sure that you learn the procedure. Okay, you can always go back to the recipe. So you're going to coat your flour with the fat. Okay. So fat first approach, as I said, and you put the fat into your flour first, it's going to crisp up. That's what is going to happen. If you put your liquids to the flour first, like we do in cakes, then what happens? Then we get a moist crumb. Okay. We are adding our sugar
It's the
and some baking soda as well. Okay. We'll answer the questions later. And we're mixing everything together. Now, don't knead it like your roti dough, okay? We don't want to develop the gluten here. We're just trying to get the dough together. Can you see that? Yeah? It's very simple. So I'm using salted butter here. That's why I'm not adding any additional salt to this. But if you guys are going to use unsalted butter or like really cold ghee if you want, then you can use a little bit of salt in this. Okay, according to your taste. Like this is swad anusar. Okay. Now to this we are going to add some vanilla extract. Now this is some vanilla extract right in there. Can someone tell me the difference between vanilla extract and vanilla essence? Comment down below, and my minions over here are going to tell me what you guys are saying. Or I can see it. Okay. I'm not able to see any answers right now, but let's see if anyone can answer.
one is original, one is synthetic.
Original matlab kya? What is original? I'll read out the comments. Extract is real vanilla extract, and essence is synthetic. Yes, that's correct. That is right, you guys. Okay, so as you can see, we are already able to form the dough because my vanilla extract was a little bit liquid, right? Can you see the dough? So you don't need to add any additional water in this case. But if you use vanilla bean paste, if you use a thicker vanilla, you might need a little few drops of water, okay? If you're able to form the dough like this, you don't need any additional water. So at this point, I'm going to get the dough sort of together. Again, I'm using just the fingers. Can you see? I'm just using the fingers, getting the dough together. Okay. And then we are going to chill it in the fridge just for 15 to 20 minutes. Or if you're short of time, you can chill it in the freezer just for 10 minutes or so before we shape and then proceed. Okay? Take this into the freezer just for some time. Alright, you guys. So, can someone tell me the difference between baking soda and baking powder? So in this recipe, we have used baking soda. Why is it so? Why didn't we use any baking powder in this recipe? I want to know. Yeah, and I have the comments here. I can read it. Komal Nalwani has asked me why water is used in this recipe and not milk. We didn't use any water in this recipe. You can add a few drops of water just to get the dough together. So if you don't want to use water, in that case, this is only if your dough is not coming together, especially in Delhi winters in the north in general, you have a lot of, everything is just cold and frozen, which is what you want for a good cookie. But if something is not coming together, you can add a few drops of water. It could be milk, but water just works. Okay?
A lot of people asked, was the butter
Okay.
cold?
Yes, it was. Butter is cold. So people are saying baking powder is acidic. No, it's not acidic. You're wrong. And baking soda needs curd to activate. Yes, baking soda does need curd to activate, but baking powder is not acidic. Baking soda is pure bicarbonate, but baking powder contains cornstarch and cream of vanilla. Partially right, but not fully. Baking soda is sodium bicarbonate. Pure baking powder has cornstarch also. No, that's not right. Baking soda helps in rising the flour. That's true, but baking powder also does that. So what's the difference? Baking soda has leavening agents. Okay, no, that's not true. Okay. So all of the people saying that you want me to run you through the video again, this will be posted later so you can watch it again, okay, later. So now let's get back to what is the difference between baking soda and baking powder. Baking soda is sodium bicarbonate, okay, it's basic in nature. So you put it along with an acid so that it would react and effervesce. What is effervescence? Effervescence is when a reaction happens and as a bicarbonate, as a result of that, some carbon dioxide is released, right? Which helps leaven or rise something, whether it's your cake or cookies or anything. So baking soda reacts very quickly with an acid because baking soda is pure basic, then you have a pure acid, it gets together and it leavens. Yeah. But baking powder has baking soda and an acid inside the same mixture along with cornstarch or any other starch to keep it from reacting with anything else. Right? Do you understand this? So baking powder is used when you need a long baking. Okay, because baking powder reacts slowly and keeps the rising up. But baking powder reacts quickly when it first hits the acid, that's the first reaction, and the second reaction happens inside the oven when it hits the heat. Okay, so when it comes in contact with heat, it will increase in volume. So here, why we're using only baking soda is because these are cookies. They bake quick. They bake in a jiffy with the heat. So you don't need any baking powder, right? Baking powder is unnecessary in this kind of recipes. Okay. Baking powder has acid in. Yes, that's right. So do you guys understand what I'm saying till now? Do you have any more questions? Except recapping, I'm not going to recap because then it's going to get repetitive. You can watch this video later, okay? So do you guys have any other? We do have 4 videos explaining everything about baking soda and baking powder on my Instagram. My Instagram handle is spritis.special. You can see those reels. We have demonstrated what the differences are and where you can use these and so that you can never forget, okay? All right. All right. Awesome. So let's make our ganache. Okay, not ganache. It's just a chocolate filling. Okay, we're going to clear this out. So the chocolate filling for this recipe is basically a soft chocolate ganache which is going to sit inside the cookie dough and bake so that it's slightly gooey chewy on the inside even after baking. Okay, so that's what we're trying to achieve here. Now, who's going to tell me what a ganache is? Huh? It's a very important question because we all think that there's only one type of ganache, but I want to know what ganache is. Okay? What is ganache? Who's going to tell me? I want to know from the people what ganache is. Okay. Anjana says it's liquid and chocolate. Whipped filling of cream and chocolate. Cream and chocolate. Chocolate makes it fat. The chocolate is fat. Okay. Lots of you guys are very interactive and I'm loving this, huh? This is how our class should be. What's the fun in me talking and you guys just sitting there, right? Oh my god, there's a lot of comments. Okay. This is the proportion of cream and chocolate. No, that's not right. Okay. Okay, so most of you are telling me that it's cream and chocolate, which is not entirely true. Ganache, hear me out. Ganache is an emulsion of chocolate with a liquid. It could be water, it could be juice, it could be oil, it could be cream, it could be butter, it could be anything. So chocolate, when it comes in contact with another fat or another source of liquid and combined at high pressure, not high pressure, high speed, that's when you get a ganache. The most popular one, of course, out there is the cream ganache, which is cream and chocolate, but that's not the only type of ganache out there, okay? There are so many types of ganache, and you must see ganache as a emulsion rather than seeing it just as one thing, because then you won't be able to explore much, okay? We have this truffle recipe in our Christmas baking class, which has water and chocolate combined with spices, and it's just amazing. So you use water ganache when you want to shine that chocolate, okay? Because when you add chocolate with dairy, it sort of gets mellowed down and becomes creamy, right? When you want an intense chocolate flavor, then you want to combine your chocolate with water instead. But today here we're going to make a different type of filling for the cookie, okay? So for that we have, here it is. We can get the camera close now onto the table. Here.
Volume is shut
Here.
down.
Okay. So, are you able to see inside here? No. Can you tilt the... Alright, can they see inside properly? Alright, awesome. Okay, so what I have here is some liquid glucose, okay? To the liquid glucose, I'm going to add some cream. This is light cream. Light cream is 18 to 25% fat. In our country, the most popular light cream you get is Amul Blue Pack, okay? We're going to start heating this, warming it up, okay? You don't want this to boil or anything. You just want this to get combined, okay? Now, what is glucose? Glucose is liquid sugar, right? So what happens is that when you add glucose to any recipe, it remains unfrozen. It remains chewy. It doesn't crisp up, which is exactly what we need from our gooey, chewy chocolate filling, right? We don't want, if we use a simple, popular cream ganache, then it's going to bake in the oven and become sort of set, which is a different type of recipe altogether. Can you see that that's combined now? We don't want to boil it or anything, yeah? All right, now we're going to put our chocolate in there. So the chocolate we're using is milk chocolate. I'm going to show you the packet in a little bit, okay? We are using milk chocolate here from Jindal cocoa, of course. And now the heat is off, okay? The heat is off. We are just trying to let the chocolate melt. Yeah, in the residual heat. And in the process, get everything combined together. Now, I'm using milk chocolate in this recipe. You can use dark chocolate as well. It's completely up to you, okay? I just think that milk chocolate really goes very well with this sort of a cookie. You know, it's very nostalgic, very childlike, but in a better way. Okay, can you see that this is combined? Please don't heat your chocolate on direct heat for too long, because there's plenty of heat inside the pan itself. Okay, now to this, we are going to add some vegetable oil. We are using vegetable oil here. Again, to get that melt in the mouth texture after it is baked in the oven. Okay? Beautiful. And then we are also going to add a little bit of salt. Salt and chocolate goes amazingly well together. So you'll see this. If you've been a student of mine, you'll know that I love this combination of salt and chocolate. I think salt just does the exact same thing it does to your sabzi or your dal. It seasons it, it brings out all of this flavor. So now, can you see what it's look like? Okay, awesome. So, let's show my face once more. All right. Now, do you have any questions? What we are going to do with this before we take the questions is we are going to put this in a bowl, okay, or anything, any sort of tray. You're going to cover this with cling wrap, touching the surface, and you're going to put this in the fridge to set. Because if it's not set, you won't be able to mold your cookies. Okay? Awesome. All right. Nice. So we're going to put this in the fridge for about 3 or 4 hours or overnight. Anything, just for you to set this properly so that you can scoop it out and fill your cookies. Okay. So till then, we are going to take some more questions.
Why have you used oil?
As I said before, we have used oil. So because oil doesn't bake, oil doesn't freeze, right? Oil stays in that liquid state at room temperature, right? So it's going to help your ganache stay a little bit on that gooey liquid side when you pop your cookie open, okay? If we don't have glucose syrup, what can we add instead? You can use corn syrup, but glucose is very easily available in the market. It's not a specialty ingredient, so just get glucose. Whenever you learn, new recipes, you must try them the way it is as much as possible, okay? Before you start, like I have a lot of students who ask me, okay, look, can I do this? Can I change this? Can I use whole wheat? Can I use that? Don't do all of that. First time you make the recipe as it is, okay? Then you start doing all of your variations. If you make the recipe as it is, you're going to know what it tastes like actually, right? What it's supposed to be like, what the texture is supposed to be like, and then you start doing your variations. Do you understand? Okay. All right. Awesome. So now we'll get the ganache that we made previously, and we will mold our chocolate cookies till then. Okay. We'll get a cold cookie dough, and then we will start making our cookies. All right. Who's going to tell me the difference between milk chocolate and dark chocolate? Now, some of you are my students here, and I'm expecting you to know this because I always stress upon you guys knowing the main difference between milk chocolate and dark chocolate. So, who's going to tell me what the difference is between milk chocolate and dark chocolate? Okay. And the cookie dough? Yeah. Here the cookie dough. Thank you so much. Thank you. Awesome. Okay. We keep some previously made cookies, keep it here. Yeah. All right. So my friends, my minions are just around here. So if I'm looking weird talking to them, that's what we're doing. Okay. So people are telling me what the difference between milk chocolate and dark chocolate is. Milk is sweet and dark is not. That's not true. Why in some? Okay. Milk has less cocoa than dark. That's not true. Amount of cocoa butter, no. No. Percentage of cocoa is more in milk. No, that's not true. I want one correct answer. Yes. So Pooja Such 74 has said milk chocolate has milk and is sweet, but dark chocolate is without milk and bitter. It's true, but the part about being sweet and being bitter is not entirely true. But yes, there is only one difference between milk chocolate and dark chocolate, which is the presence of milk. Okay, if it has milk, it's milk chocolate. Whether it's 50% milk chocolate, 70% milk chocolate, it doesn't matter. And what are these percentages? Huh? What are these percentages? When we say 50% chocolate, 70% chocolate, what does that percentage mean? What does that percentage mean? You must have heard. By the way, this is what we used, okay? This is the Jindal cocoa milk chocolate. This is what we used. All right. Now, who's going to tell me? Aarti says percentage of bitterness. No, that's not true. Percentage of bitterness. No. It is the percentage of cocoa. Yes, that is correct. So if it is, so if it's let's say 40% chocolate, then what does the rest of it mean? What is the rest of it? Amount of cocoa solids. Very good, guys. So what is the rest of it? If we say 40% chocolate, what is the rest of it? Rest of it is sugar, Nidhi Sabarwal. You're absolutely right. Rest of it is sugar. So if it's a 40% chocolate, 60% of it is sugar. If it's a 70% chocolate, 30% of it is sugar. Okay, so the main difference between milk chocolate and dark chocolate is the presence of milk in it. There is no other reason or differences here. Generally, milk chocolate is sweeter because we associate it like that. It's just evolved like that. You can still have a 50% dark chocolate or a 50% milk chocolate. Both will taste different from each other, but both will have the same amount of sugar. Okay? So there's some trivia for you. Again, we have videos on this on my Instagram, so if you are interested, you can go and check it out. We also have study materials on our website, so you can again, if you want to deep dive into cocoa, you can go ahead and check it out. Okay, so now let's start molding our cookies. So let's get the camera closer once again. All right, I hope you guys are enjoying the session. I know you want to get to the good part of how the cookie looks, but we have to get there step by step, right? All right. So this is what our cookie looks like. Cookie dough. So this much cookie dough makes 4 cookies. You can measure it, which I generally would, but right now I'm just doing it by eye. And this is our previously made ganache. Okay, can you see it? Yeah. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take. You can use a spoon for this, or if it's really cold like this, you can just do it by hand. Okay. You can take this much. Yeah. This much, like this. And you make parathas at home, right? The only difference is that you're not going to knead this dough for gluten. Excuse me. You're not going to knead this dough. Just going to make a center like that. And then you're going to put your ganache inside. And then you're gently going to cover it all up. And now you don't want to make this perfect. You don't want to roll it like into a ball. Okay, you do need these little bits and pieces here and there, these imperfections, which is going to crisp up in the oven and give you the best texture. You want your cookie ball to not have any ganache peeping out. Okay, like this. And then you continue doing this. And then what you're going to do is to freeze this entire filled cookie dough ball And then, you know what the best part is? You can freeze this for up to a month if you want, as long as it's well frozen. And then whenever you want to make fresh cookies, even if it's for large production, you can't make everything from scratch in one day, right? So when you're doing this as large batch productions, if you're even doing this for home, you can do till this step and then you can store it in the freezer in an airtight container, of course, otherwise it will dry out. Then you can just pop it in the oven like this. Okay, so we have some previously made cookie dough here. I'm going to show you. Okay. In this, we just stuck some chocolate. We can do that. Okay, this is the dough I just made. So I'm going to take some chocolate. This is some dark chocolate from Jindal cocoa. This is the 46%, I believe. Yes, can you see that? So you can just stick it. You can stick some nuts on these. You can just make like different flavors. And then make it as close as possible because it's going to increase in volume inside the oven. Okay, like this. Now we have some previously made dough here which is solid. Yeah, it's completely frozen. So what you're going to do is you do not want to thaw this. Okay, let's get them to see me so I can explain it to them. Okay. You do not want to thaw these cookies. You want to put a baking tray inside the oven and you want to preheat along with the tray. Okay, you want to preheat at 160 or 170 degrees Celsius depending on your oven. You want to preheat with the tray so that the tray also gets heated up, and then you want to put these frozen cookie balls right onto that hot tray with a silicone mat or a silpain. Silpain is this air mat. Okay, you can use an air mat or you can use a silicone mat or you can even use parchment paper. Okay. Can you go back a little? Okay, cool. So we are going to put this onto our tray lined with silicone mat or air mat, as I said, or parchment paper. Place them at a distance. You can, in this kind of tray, you can fit like 6, but keep them apart from each other because they are going to increase in volume. Okay, and then frozen. In this frozen state, you're going to put them in the oven and let them bake for 12 to 15 minutes. All right. Are you enjoying the session till now? Let me know. Okay. You bake with fan on. Yes. So if you are baking in an OTG, you bake with both rods on and fan on. Is that? Yeah. Can you? Yeah, just move them. And also, we use these also, the ones we made these. Yeah, just take it out like that. Yeah. Okay. So we have some cookies made previously for you, so that you can see what it looks like. But in the meantime, we're also baking the cookies I just showed you. Okay. Looks beautiful. Okay. Now, why do we put the frozen cookie dough inside a hot oven? Why do we do that? We do that because what happens is when the heat of the tray is suddenly gives the cookie a rise. Okay, just a second. We need those cookies as well. We need those cookies. Yeah, on the same tray. Yeah. Sorry, guys. So I'm saying that when you put a heated tray when you put frozen cookie balls on a heated tray, what happens is that the heat is going to suddenly start crisping up the borders and keep the insides moist. Okay, I'll give you an example. What happens is, suppose you put, let's say, a cold batch of dough inside the oven. Okay, bread dough, cake dough, anything. What's going to happen is that it's going to cook on the outside and it's going to stay gooey on the middle, especially when you put it inside a hot oven. This is why sometimes you might see that, okay, your cake is baked on the outside but it's gooey in the center. That's because the temperature of the dough was cold, so it dropped down the temperature of the oven, and it's going to cook far quicker on the outside, right? But we are using this as to our advantage because that's exactly what we want. We want the center to be gooey and we want our dough to be crispy on the outside, right? So that's exactly what we are going to do. So I have some cookies prepared here. Okay, we also broke a little. This one is a little warm, so we are going to show them the other. Okay. All right. Now, yeah, get them closer. So this is the one we just baked. It's still cooling down, so that's why it broke, as you can see. You need to let your cookies cool down completely, okay? Let's move this for now. Okay, so this is your cookie. What we've done here is we've put a little bit of rock salt on top. This is completely optional. Again, I love it, so I'm going to put it up there. I'm going to put salt in everything, but it's up to you. And we've also put that same ganache we made. We just warmed it up and poured it all over the top. So I'm going to show you what the texture looks like. If you can see, can you hear that? I'm very close to the mic. Can you hear that? I don't know if you can hear it, but it's crispy on the outside. And then you have stuff in the middle. Okay, if you warm this cookie and you serve it immediately, what's going to happen is that we have another one here. It's going to have that gooey center. Can you see? Can you see that? That is the fun. That is the fun. Yeah? So temperature matters here, okay? So if you serve it while it's at room temperature or if it's a little warm, you know how you love to eat warm cookies. Maybe if you've been to Europe, maybe if you've been to any of those patisseries, you eat warm cookies. That's what this is going to be. And if you let it set for some time, maybe it's for your orders or anything, it's going to be like this. It's still, you can see, I can actually show it to you with spoon here. You can see this is not set. Right? It might look set on the camera, that's why I'm going to show you by scraping this. It's not set. That's what you want. Okay? You want this layer to be gooey, melt in the mouth. Yeah? But if you want it to be completely falling apart, you want to serve this warm. Okay? Now I cannot resist this smell. This is just beautiful. Okay. Hetal asks how many minutes to be baked. It's to be baked for 12 to 15 minutes, depending on your oven. You just want it to be slightly golden on the top and on the edges, but not completely hard. Okay, if you're into super hard crunchy cookies, this is not the recipe for that. This is the recipe as mentioned in the description. It's crispy on the outside, it's gooey, chewy on the inside. Okay, it's a completely different experience altogether. This is not the cookie you dunk into chai. This is not that cookie. This is a cookie you need to enjoy on its own, or with a cup of black coffee, or with milk, or just as it's dessert. Okay, it's not a snack. So who's gonna ask more questions? Okay, so what's the shelf life of the dough? If you freeze the dough in individual batches with the filling, as I said before, you can freeze it up to a month. Beyond that, it's going to start losing its moisture, so I won't, and it's not going to last that long, for sure. Okay, whether it's for orders, whether it's for yourself, you won't be able to keep it more than for a month. So Neela asked कितने time freeze रखना है? You have to freeze it until it's absolutely like if you want to hit someone, they're going to get hurt. That much frozen it should be. Okay, it should be like a heavy cricket ball. That's how it should be. Okay, so awesome.
Coverture or compound?
So Maitri is asking if it's coverture or compound. Who's gonna tell her in the comment section if it's coverture or compound? Okay. I'm going to tell you that we never ever ever use compound for anything. We use only and only coverture, which is what chocolate is. Compound is not even edible in a few countries in the world. So please, if you're using compound, refrain from using it. I know some people think that compound is cheap, so your clientele is going to accept it more, etc. It's going to come from us. It's going to come from chefs and bakers. We all know that gold and chandi and all of this is expensive, so we accept it. We know what we are buying, right? Imagine that, but something you're putting inside your body. So please stop using compound. Please switch to coverture, whatever type of coverture. And Jindal Cocoa has a great range of covertures, okay? Jindal Cocoa has a great range of covertures. They have 4 main covertures. They have 1 milk and 3 types of darks. So please switch to coverture. Yeah, explore covertures. There was a time a few years back we didn't have enough covertures easily available in India, but now we do. So please make use of that. Okay. Compound is not good for you, not just in terms of flavor. I've heard people say that compound is less good, coverture is more good. No, compound is not chocolate. Okay, who's going to tell me the actual difference between compound and coverture and why compound is not chocolate? Who's going to tell me that? Okay, somebody is asking me in the meantime how to flavor the dough. Guys, you can put spices, you can put orange zest, lemon zest into the dough itself. Then you can do that in the ganache. You can add some coffee powder. You can add again some orange zest, lemon zest into the ganache. It's up to you how you want to flavor it. You can put nuts. You can chop the chocolate callets, and then you can add that into the dough, or you can stick it on the top like we did. So many ways to do this. So, cocoa butter compound is vegetable oil. Correct. Wow, that's a lot of comments about this. I'm so proud of all of you. I am so proud of all of you because there was a time there where people didn't know this. Coverture is pure chocolate made of cocoa butter and cocoa mass. Compound is made of cocoa powder and vegetable fats. Absolutely, you guys are absolutely correct. And this is not the type of vegetable fat you want to be eating. It's hydrogenated vegetable fats, which is directly going to hit your heart. If I have to put it very simply, okay? I mean, eat less coverture, make less chocolate desserts, but use coverture. Don't use compound. Do not use compound. Okay? Compound is, yeah, I think I've made myself very clear with this. But I'm very proud that you guys know what the difference between compound and coverture is. Compound is made with cocoa powder mixed with hydrogenated vegetable fats, whereas coverture is made from the bean all the way to the chocolate itself, right? We're going to talk more about compounds and covertures and difference and the quality and everything in the upcoming sessions as well. So if you have any last questions, let me know. And in the meantime, I'm going to give you a little bit of good news here. This is actually our first shoot or first live in our new studio here in Delhi. So if you guys are in Delhi, we are going to have our studio inauguration very soon. I'm going to share the updates for it. and you guys can be a part of it. So, and those people who are not in Delhi, if you want to attend the inauguration, we will also make sure that it's available online, right? So we are very happy. We set it up for you, for the online school that we have, and just very happy that all of you could be a part of it. Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much. So many congratulations. Okay, somebody is asking me the substitute for glucose. You can use corn syrup or you can use invert sugar. But glucose is going to give you the best result, and glucose is very easily available. It's not a specialty ingredient. You can find it on Amazon or any baking supply stores. Okay. I also want to let all the new people here know that we have an online school, precisely why we have a shoot studio here. We have an online school called Smriti Special Online School. You can, I will put the link in the group later. We have 27 online classes on there, and we keep doing these additional little classes with homemakers.co.in. So if any of you want to check out the classes, please do so. All right. So, thank you so much. So many sweet comments. I don't want to bore you by reading it, but I'm going to read it later. Our next session is going to be on Thursday, next Thursday, and it's going to be another beautiful, delicious recipe, so you don't want to miss it. I want to also remind you guys about Bake Fiesta. Now, Bake Fiesta is a 3-day online event organized by homemakers.co.in. It's in June from 10th to 12th June. Yes, I want to get that correct. It's from 10th to 12th June, and it's an online 3-day event which is going to be filled with masterclasses from one of it is going to be from me, and then it's going to be from so many other talented, beautiful teachers, bakers, pastry chefs. It's going to be sessions on sugar flours and so many different things. So you must check it out. We will be posting the link for that in the group as well. Alrighty guys, I had a good time with you. The recipe is given in the description and will also be shared in the group later. I hope you had a good time, and I hope that you're going to try these cookies out. Whenever you do, post it. Tag me, tag Jindal Cooker, tag Homemakers. Okay? Thank you so much. Bye.